Hello, 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 Curvies. Thanks for coming through the larger curves. Sorry about that. You know what it was? I was actually showing somebody else how to use the YouTube live stream feature and was like, oh, you can schedule it. Let me schedule this. And I had planned on coming live, Curvies. So I'm glad I am live. Um, but I also was like, oh, just a second. My thing is, oh no, there it goes. Excellent. So plugged in, perfect. So I was like, oh well, I still plan on going live and everything. So let me just set this, and then I forgot totally that I had set it because I didn't set my other alarm. I'm totally like Lisa Milan in Real Housewives of Dubai, where I'm just like entrepreneurial. I'm a mama. I'm a mama mom more. Anyway, I'm a mom entrepreneur and I be trying to schedule everything for everybody, including myself. And so I need to set a number of calendar reminders. And since I had just happened to do it for somebody to show them, I didn't set it in my calendar. Anyway, because I was thinking, oh, well, I could go tomorrow. But I decided there's no better time than the present. I don't even have a thumbnail up for it, but I do have the story up. This is one of the things that we're going to be talking about is that Erica Girardi's husband was found guilty and he faces up to 20 years in prison. So that's going to be one of the things we talk about today. Thanks for coming through, smiling with Aaron D. Thanks for being here, Bianca. I love you. I know it's late where you are. If you couldn't come back, no worries, no problems. Yes, everybody, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, go ahead and ring the bell. I'm about to get out. Oh, right on. Cook chicken fajitas and watch us food. Oh, right on. Yes, you have to set several alarms too, right? Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, right on. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and come on now because it's not going to be a super long live, but I was waiting for my media to upload. Also, it's almost done, but I decided to start prepping it now. So, okay, so this is Tom Girardi. He was found guilty of embezzling more than $15 million from clients. And that is Erica Jane's estranged husband. She filed for divorce back, this is from November 2020, that she filed for divorce from her 81, she was 49 and filed for divorce from her then 81-year-old lawyer husband. Okay, after much consideration, she decided to end her marriage. Okay, now if you may or may not remember, he did show up on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills several times, and he seemed sharp as a tack to me, you know. So they did not sign a prenup ahead of their 1999 wedding. And just a second. There we go. So there we go. So yeah, we were going to talk about that. It's almost done. And then I had asked Melody Shari Rodgers of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I asked her a question the other day, and I finally found a way to be able to play it here for you, Curvies. So we're going to look at that answer and question because last night we did have a live here on Larger Curves, which was with Dr. Chanita Foster, also a friend of Love and Marriage Huntsville for Melody Shari Rodgers. And she was having some splaining to do. And we're looking forward to seeing the next episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville because, yeah, she said it gets worse and she's pre apologizing. So Melody actually felt a kind of way. Let me see, maybe I can play that in the meantime. Let me go there. Okay. So you know how Dr. Heavenly and Carlos King have been going live on Mondays for Messy Mondays. And I know you're being there too, Bianca. Do you feel as a viewer that they kind of go in on Melody a little bit? And I was like, oh, they must think she has a thick skin, or maybe they have an understanding, or, I'm not sure, but I totally was like, yeah. So I was totally like, well, maybe she's not in on the joke and she doesn't like the way that they're talking about her, not one bit. So
let me say this real quick. I'm real sweet. I'll give you the shirt off my back. I look out for a lot of people every day. I do. I feel like I'm blessed to be a blessing. But please don't take this small town, country raised and born girl as somebody who is in any way weak, in any way can't. Y'all been seeing me stand up for myself ever since I got on this show. Let's keep it above. Can we go there? Let's keep it above. Let's start there, actually. Let's start there. Y'all have
shout out to Aquarian TV. Real quick with this copyright disclaimer. Let's see. Sun is in there going crazy. Let's see. Let me get this copyright disclaimer for us real quick, Curvies. Go ahead and smash the like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. So you can get notified when I upload videos and become part of this beautiful curvy community that we're growing over here in the YouTube streets. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Yes, thanks for coming through. So that was our copyright disclaimer. And like a shout out to Aquarian TV. You should go through and check out. She does kind of like I do. She be catching the lives. I don't even catch this many lives. I be catching the lives too, y'all. But over there, she catches the ones I don't. So that's a shout out. Okay, there's enough to go around. So I hope she doesn't mind me playing this 7 minutes of what she happened to catch and I didn't the other day. When is this posted? 7 hours ago. So this is from today. This news is piping hot. Because unless you were in her TikTok live, you wouldn't have heard Melody say this. And there are only a couple of people playing her entire TikTok lives because she be giving up tea in the TikTok live. She'll get to packing and start talking. And before you know it, she's saying things like this. Let's go ahead and take a listen. I think it's right here.
stand up for myself since the start of this show every day. Don't get to the bag. What that look like? Okay? Hair
Okay, here we go.
And what some of the community family may be involved in and can actually have a good life and can actually live to see that. So that's what we're doing. So shout out to Newark, New Jersey. Shout out. Okay. I didn't get to go to the graduation ceremony because I was here working, but my team was there. And I was just saying even to them, thank you to my team, Dawn, Michelle, Heather, Arthur. While I'm doing what I got to do down here, they making sure everything else is still moving and shaking. And just finished filming season 2 of Sharnita's World. We always working, getting to it. That's why I don't understand how people people have very few conversations about getting to the bag. It ain't enough conversations to be about getting to the bag. How we gonna get to the bag? How we gonna get to the bag? What that look like? What that look like? Okay? Harrison. What does that look like? Also, let me say this. Now I am sweet. I'm sweet. I'll give you the shirt off my back. Why is it saying please ensure displays? Why does it have to be displaying Sean? Because I'm not talking about product. I'll let you handle that. So let me say this real quick. I'm real sweet. I'll give you the shirt off my back. I look out for a lot of people every day. I do. I feel like I'm blessed to be a blessing. But please don't take this small town, country raised and born girl as somebody who is in any way weak, in any way can't. Y'all been seeing me stand up for myself ever since I got on this show. Let's keep it a buck. Can we go there? Let's keep it a buck. Let's start there, actually. Let's start there. Y'all have been seeing me stand up for myself since the start of this show. When do I hold my tongue? No, for real. Lauren, I know you don't watch the show, so Lauren ain't gonna understand. Y'all, Lauren ain't even know nothing about Love Marriage Transfer until she met me a couple years ago. So no, Lauren, not you. All right. It's all right, not you. Not you. And she still don't watch. So not you. But, thank you. When do you really see me bite my tongue? Sometimes I may because I'm trying to spare feelings, or maybe because I'm trying not to, like I ain't in the mood to be going back and forth with nobody. You know, it could be a mood thing. But for the most part, I got a big mouth and I'm very vocal. What I used to get in trouble in school for ever since I was a kid, I don't know if my mama's still on here, she can attest to this. What I used to get in trouble in school for, I would have all S's, right? And then guess what it say? Talk too much, check.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all know the blue report card. You know, you used to go, well, I used to go to the blue little thing. Yeah, you can go get a free McDonald's cheeseburger. You go get a free McDonald's. You take your report card, and then you can get a free McDonald's. I think a Happy Meal cheeseburger, something. Anyway, all my stuff was always S. And the only thing that I would get that you unsatisfactory on was talk too much. So I've been talking since I was a little girl, okay? I have been very vocal since I was a little girl. My mama and be joking about how my granddaddy would come and they be done took, one time they had took the car or something like that, had got a flat tire, and they said as soon as my granddaddy, I would have to be because what my mom said, I said it don't make sense, so I had to be real young. If she's on here, she can tell the story, the age and all of that. But she said that I said, granddaddy, and took him over there and showed him the tire. Took him over there and showed him that his tire was flat. So I've been talking for a long time. Talking too much, okay? I've been talking for a long time. Granddaddy. And yes, I was a granddaddy's girl. Yes. So I used to tell it, okay? And my auntie and them said, they used to be like, God dang. Girl, talk too much. So I said all that to say this. And my kids are very vocal too. Just so y'all know. Somebody said that's sugar mama. Yes, it is. So just so y'all know, I need a razzle. My children are very vocal as well. Baby, y'all think I'm a handful? It be so many times when I be like, they don't want the M&M kids and 4-piece chicken nuggets, baby, to come through because they think I'm a handful. By the time them folk finish with you, by the time the 4 of them quadruple team you, baby, just trust me.
There were a couple of buffering moments in here. Thanks for coming to Larger Curves today.
Just trust me.
Make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. You can either hit those 3 dots or double tap the screen. Double tap the screen.
They got clap back ability just like their mama. They got clap back ability just like me.
Thanks, Bianca.
Sometimes they have me stuck. Like, hey, what I want to say next? Because that was good, actually. What they said made sense. So I've been talking for a long time. So let me clear this up. There's not in any way, shape, form, or fashion that I have ever needed anybody to be a mouthpiece for me. Don't need you to. I don't need no mouthpieces. I don't need no bodyguards. I don't need nobody to have my back.
Well, while that's buffering, let me see. Yeah, maybe she does, but maybe she gets so many of the same comments also, Bianca, for this comment right here. Perhaps I'm willing to believe that, but I also think that when you hear it over and over again, you might create a context. You know what I mean?
The whole narrative of all of that, stop it. People have their own.
And I think that this also right here, this specific stop the narrative that she needs a mouthpiece. I was like, when Dr. Heavenly said that in Messy Monday, I was like, I don't really think so, because she and the people that she's brought on have all said that Melody didn't say anything bad about any of them. She didn't, to Destiny, to Stormy, she didn't say anything bad about these other people to her, to these girls, to make them go in. They ended up feeling energy and acting accordingly. You know what I mean? So, but then ultimately end up turning on Mel for some strange reason, which it's a phenomenon. But let's keep listening. I think that when she's talking about people saying that Dr. Sharnita Foster was her mouthpiece, her bodyguard, she's letting us know she doesn't need that. That's not any position she was trying to have filled. So there's that.
And then I told y'all yesterday, this was a whole conversation that was very long. A lot of question asking. They got cut down real short. And that's cool. That's what it is. That's what production does. That's nothing wrong with that. It ain't nothing wrong with it. That's how it goes. But I just need y'all to understand that too. It was a lot of question asking before conclusions were made.
And that goes along with what Dr. Shanita Foster said. She said that it was like she had went around the table to everyone at the girls' trip dinner for the first night and was like, oh, who are you? Who are you married to? What do you do? Who are you? Who you're married to? And so they both are acknowledging that conversation they had at the dinner table, which came off looking more like Shanita came with some kind of agenda. There was no agenda because it had been a whole conversation that got reduced down to those moments.
Period. So I'm very sweet. I'll give you the shirt off my back. I love to help people in any way I can, right? If you have an idea, if there's something you want to do, if I have the ability to help you do it and it's easy for me to do, don't take away from what I got going on, I don't mind doing it. I've always been this way. That's why y'all see a lot of people y'all see on this show. Like today we talking. We don't keep it a buck today. We're talking today. Because I feel like people be thinking because
Yeah, she did say that also, that she's like, I'm just going to keep it real. And it seems like she is too. But then she did keep saying things like, but Melody brought her there. She would keep saying that, but that might have been one of her I'm going to say this and I'm going to take it back statements. You know how she does. She was just being funny.
I don't really respond to stuff and I try to be, real, just cool, professional, low key, whatever. That means that I won't get your ass, and I will. So I'm gonna do a quick reminder today. $5 more. Lord charged $5 every time I say a bad word.
And I also, so that part I thought could have been to Melody about the mouthpiece part. I mean, Melody could have been saying that to Dr. Heavenly, because Carlos didn't say anything like that about Shanita. But I did feel like when I was asking earlier to put it in the comments, if you feel like sometimes on Messy Monday, they go in a little bit on Melody. And I know in the comments on Messy Monday, they'll say things in the comments that are very pro Melody, like they feel like she's being attacked by Carlos. And I thought he was just being a little shady, messy, but it's kind of like sometimes I feel like he says a question in a way where Melody will end up looking like the bad person. Like, okay, so this last Messy Monday, do you think that Melody should have gave Tisha and Kimmy the room because they've been on the show so much longer and Tisha's feelings were so hurt? And if you say yes to that, then it's like that makes Melody in the wrong about what happened on her trip. You see what I'm saying? So instead of something like, why couldn't, even though she has been on the show the longest, what was she really supposed to do? Where was she supposed to put the three people that always bite her ankles, except for in a room by themselves where they can't whoop her ass when she gets out the shower? You know what I'm saying? And leave her there. Anyway, somebody said that in the comments. They were like, oh, that's the kind of friends that'll whoop your ass and leave you in the country and come back on your credit card. Rest in peace. Anyway, but let's see. Yeah, how Dr. Heavenly stood up for Jackie even though she wasn't asked to. Yeah. So I feel like she was coming from there, but then she follows it up with that little I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna take it back kind of statement. Let's finish listening.
I think I should get charged $5.
Oh yeah, this right here, what she's about to say as far as production. Now this I feel like is specifically towards Carlos, because who else on the show is even making rounds talking about anything? Listen to what she says.
Well, I think today, I don't think I should. No. Well, I'm never gonna pay it. Never gonna pay it.
Oh, you gonna pay it.
So, again, like I said, that's the reason y'all see a lot of the people you guys see or have seen on this show is because there were people who expressed that they wanted to be here, and then I put in the work to make it happen. And I'll really appreciate, I'll be honest, I'll really appreciate, and keep it above. Put some respect on my name. Quit playing with me. What? What'd you say? Tell her to change the schedule from 11:50 to 12:10. Oh, that's now.
Yeah, now.
Oh, the flash is up. Okay. Flash.
Wait a minute.
Flash, wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry, Sean. Okay, flash. Oh. Okay, so flash sale. Sean, can you panic? I'm coming back, y'all. Don't worry, I'm coming back. I don't see the flash. They don't see the flash.
They don't see the flash.
Oh,
Yeah.
my mama is still on here. Hey,
We didn't
mama,
see the flash.
VRT 2024. I don't know why I thought her thing was VRT 2019. It's 2024 on TikTok. They said they don't see the flash. Sean, let me know if it's up. You know, I'm going to talk about product why it's up.
Yeah, hold on.
She said, hold on. Okay, so not yet. Okay. Tell her when it's up to put it on there and pin that it's up, and I'll talk about the products. So,
Hold on, time lapse.
Oh, the time lapse? Oh, it was up. That's why they got that violation made. Girl, I didn't know that it was up.
That's over there. Run your mouth.
Yeah, girl, I'm over here running my mouth. Yes. So anyway, like I was saying, put some respect on my name. That's what I said. Quit playing with me. Put some respect on my name. Let's keep it a buck. Because Hush, Lauren. Quit humming. Quit humming, Lauren. Quit humming. Lauren! No, Lauren! Put some respect. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna say put some respect on my name then. Fine. God dang, Lauren. Just put some respect on my name. Like, just do that. Like, I ain't trying to be funny, but this every week thinking you gonna be bullying me every week. Let me take me a sip of water. You think you gonna come throw shade at me every week, and eventually I ain't gonna respond to you? Cause I'll pull up on you actually, and I may do that next week. Put some
Who else could she be talking about except for Carlos King, you guys, on Messy Mondays?
respect on my name. Because the fact of the matter is, what have I done to you? The answer is nothing. Except call out what I felt like should have happened. But you know, sometimes people can't understand bullying because they the bully. Let's talk about that. Ooh. I know y'all better be saying ooh on that. Sometimes people don't see bullying because they the bully. So you don't see it. You can't see it because you are it.
Oh.
Because you are it.
Oh.
You know? It ain't a she. It ain't worth it. I don't know what that person said. Be careful, she ain't worth it. So when I'm talking about pull up, I'm talking about pulling up on these internet streets. Let's be clear. I said I'm not going to be bullied every week. I'm not going to make everything all about me every week. Even when I was hardly on the show, it was about me. It's stupid at this point. You got a mouth now, but you ain't have a mouth when it matters. So shut up. You got a lot to say now, but you ain't have nothing to say when it matters. So shut up. So the same way you don't respect me, I don't respect you. Because I see that you ain't got no respect. So the same way you don't respect me, I don't respect you. So shut up.
Uh-oh.
Lauren, y'all come get Lauren.
No.
Y'all come get Lauren.
I ain't get a thing. No, don't come get me.
Oh, Lauren, go get the box of the body oils. This one more box of body oils I need to bring here. It's out there in the garage on the shelf. Bring it on in for me.
In the garage?
Girl, it's right there. It just came to the left. As soon as you hit, it's right there to the left. Anyway, yeah, it ain't no cart yet. Sean gonna let us know. She gonna pin it.
5 minutes started at 12 o'clock.
At 12 o'clock. Oh, okay. Well, y'all better remind you gotta type it up there and pin it, Sean. Because you know I'm still talking. Better type it up there and pin it, Sean. Yeah, let me sip me a little more water in my Queen and cup. Now, remember, y'all go to queensheba.com, baby. Go get y'all some Queen and merch. And Paul's merch, too. She got, Paul's, too. And I paused before I went live today. And God said go. So, and let me say this, too. Let me go address this real quick, too. Now, I can't address everything on one line. So, I don't know. I may wait it out. I may hold up to tomorrow. I can't do everything on one. It's so much that I've been holding back that I got to say. And I told y'all, didn't I tell y'all, male talking now? Male talking now? So I'm going to save that part for tomorrow. I'm going to save that part for tomorrow. I'm probably going to bring the red phone out tomorrow. Yeah, the red phone coming. Yeah, yeah, it's coming tomorrow. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, my God. Lauren said, oh, my God. Oh, the red phone coming out tomorrow. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because, see, sometimes when you're quiet, people don't know that means you better leave me alone now. I'm quiet. That don't mean you better keep going. That means you might want to leave me alone. And I'm giving you ample opportunity to leave me alone and go elsewhere. Move around. But then sometimes people feel like, oh, they ain't saying nothing, and they be like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna keep going. Okay. All right. So the red phone is coming out tomorrow. It sure is. It sure is. I haven't brought it out in a minute. It's coming out tomorrow. Because like I said, put some respect on my name. Quit playing with me. There is no reason at all. But for me, it is no reason at all for there to be this much venom. It's just, it's none. It's none. It's none. So, since that's what kind of time we on, let's do it all the way. It ain't gonna be one-sided. If that's what kind of time we on. Okay? That's what kind of time. Is it 12 o'clock yet, Sean? You better pin it when it's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. All right, so I think we probably have some flashes going on, so y'all know I gotta talk about product. Okay? Y'all know I gotta talk about product. Is it up? Can we get it? Is it up?
Okay, so that was the one. Now let's go over here, and my reel is ready for us. So I asked Melody Shari a question. Most recent live that I happened to catch, it was 2 days ago, and because at the dinner on Love and Marriage Huntsville on Saturday, they had a girls trip. And after everybody got off the plane complaining, they got to the house and complained some more. And then they're at dinner, Tisha seemed to be making little snide comments about her single friends and kind of like poking at them. And then they showed the single friend, Chanita, have an interaction with Tisha where she told Melody that she needs to look out for that one because she's not your friend. And basically, and so that was a big thing. So I wanted to show you. Shh, shh, shh. I'm sorry, baby. Shh. There it goes. My bad, you guys. Close this. So I got to ask her a question about that dinner. I was like, well, how did you feel at that dinner? I was like, because we're used to kind of seeing Melody on an island where she's getting attacked by these people who, based off of how she puts it, they wanted a position on the show, and she helped that happen. And so to me, it feels like it's been a lot of ungrateful, but it was demonstrated greatly at that dinner on Saturday with the complaining about the rooms, complaining about the bags they had to get off the plane. And it was just a lot. It was just a lot. So I asked her this question, and we're going to take
Here,
a listen
but when
to
I
it.
click it, I don't see anything. Okay, here's somebody. The curves. Okay, one get.
Now on TikTok,
Okay, here's somebody.
I have a TikTok store, and I went to call it LRGA Curves, and they were like, "Oh, that's gone." I was like, "What the fuck?" So that's why she's gonna call me the Curves, but it is me. It's my TikTok, and I was able to go live with her on her TikTok from my TikTok and ask her this question.
Curves. Okay, one guest request. All right, come on, beautiful.
Hi.
Hello, can you turn your volume up a little bit for me?
Yeah, let me do that. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
How you doing?
I'm excellent. Hi, Melody. How are you? I love your show. I love you. I love your chutzpah. I love your drive. I love the way you're for women. And I love, my question is a comment also. How did you love having like authentic backup at that girls trip that you had? Because I felt like your choices to bring your single friends was great. And I love that they took up for you and it feels like they really love you. How did it feel to have people that are authentically there for Melody at your side, taking up for you, as opposed to you always being on an island where they're attacking you? How did you love it?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for all of the sweet things you said in the beginning. So first, thank you for that. Thank you, thank you. And hold on one second, Sean. Remember when you let me know, talk in between answering questions. So a little history. When the girls trip on, and I'll hold up products and talk in between answering questions. So a little history. When the girls trip first came around, to do a trip, I had recommended that we do a trip the beginning of the season versus the end of the season, and a girls trip, right? And so when it came around that yes, we're gonna do it, it's approved, whatever. My initial thing was, okay, cool, but I want to be able to take some of my, friends with me. And so from there, that's how you guys ended up seeing Lauren and seeing Dr. Shanita on the girls show. But to have people, because let's be clear, I go to a lot of things by myself, and I can hold my own. Like I can hold my own. I can stand my own ground. Don't necessarily need backup, but my mouth does all the backing up that it needs to do with facts, right? But it was a great feeling just to have some people around who I genuinely have a connection with in real life, who I do talk to regularly, who I do spend time with. So that was super, super amazing. And what's so crazy is, prior to the show, because most of my, real talk, most of my friends, they don't want to talk about the show. They don't want to talk about the show. Most of them don't even watch the show. I don't think Lauren's ever watched even one episode. If she has, she said and watched the episode. She happened to be here when I was watching one, maybe. But most of them don't watch the show. So I like people getting their natural perception of people on their own versus being based on me. I did the same thing with everybody else who's come to this show. Let's be clear. And they've said it. That's the crazy thing. They've said, yeah, Mel didn't say nothing about you. She said, figure out my relationship with you for myself. That's how I am. So some of the people on this show have said it out of their mouths because that's not what I do. Even when Stormy and Destiny got into it, I was like, hey, that whole Valentine's Day, it's like, y'all don't even know each other. Y'all shouldn't be beefing with each other. What y'all getting into about the fight for? Y'all need to fix that. That don't make no sense now. Y'all don't even know each other. So I'm not one, as much as people like to say that I like to recruit people to not like people for me, I actually do the opposite. But it did feel great to have people there who I do talk to regularly in real life, and I do hang out with regularly in real life, and even just me hearing and getting their perspective. So it was good.
Excellent. I felt that through the screen. I was so pleased that you had that. And I didn't feel like it was a bodyguard or anything like that. I just felt like that was a real person who's willing to say what they really see in front of the people instead of being messy. So I loved it. I love you. I know we only get one question, and I appreciate that very thoughtful response. Awesome.
Don't forget, tap the screen and share the live. Okay, tap the screen and share. Thank you.
Okay, so that was my question and answer with Melody Shari Rodgers on her TikTok live, and that was from 2 days ago. And now we're gonna go right in. We're gonna keep it on the Bravo, and keep it going with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills news. Shout out to the Talk of Shame. Let's go.
All right. Okay, bye-bye.
So, Tom Girardi was found guilty, and he could face 20 years in prison. That's Erica Jane's husband. They're saying that Erica Jane's thing is separate and this doesn't have much to do with her, even though the money is traced back to being used on her and everything. She's not being held responsible for it. So, but he is. Let's take a listen. This is Kiki from the Talk of Shame. She was there doing a live every day for like the last 13 days. And this is her final day commentary.
Okay, I know I started at the end of closing arguments, but that's only because when I walked into the courtroom and saw Erica's pink dress on the screen, the Bravo holic inside of me squealed. But, overall, I think the government had a really strong closing argument. I will say, I do think that the defense also brought up some pretty strong points in their closing as well. Now, we've listened to the government give their closing, we listened to the defense give their closing. We have a lunch break now. We got to go back at 1:30, and then we're going to hear rebuttal. So we're still going to hear some more. Some of the, same evidence, both the government and the defense are trying to use, to basically prove their case. During the government's closing, they talked about how from 2015 through 2020, Tom Girardi put in $38,774,000 of his own money into the Girardi Keys operating accounts, and he put in $43,475,000 from 2017 to 2020 into the Girardi Keys trust accounts. And they were saying that's because Tom knew this was falling apart, so he had to start putting it in his own money. When the defense argues that, they're saying, no, Chris Kamala was stealing this money the whole time, and Tom didn't know what the fuck was happening. And they didn't say fuck, obviously, but he didn't know what was happening, and he's just trying to keep his business afloat, so he's putting money in. They're saying that he put in more than $100 million, but he says, by the government's own evidence, they're saying at least $80 million, and they're basically saying that Tom was essentially the one who got the most money stolen from him. That's what the defense was arguing. Now the government says, look, Chris Kamala, we absolutely believe he's guilty and he will get his day in court. But today is not the day. But again, the defense is saying, no, we can't look away from Kamala because they're saying that the government's trying to act like that was just a sideshow, and we're saying that was the main show. They're saying, again, they believe that Chris Kamala stole $53 million over several years.
Okay, so then she does some written commentary. She has a crush on one of the lawyers. And they were getting at him in the comments. Oh, one of the defense attorneys said that Tom Girardi was the LeBron James. No, it was the Michael Jordan. And they were like, well, Tom Girardi's the LeBron James. And then they claimed that basically Tom Girardi was like Weekend at Bernie's and he didn't know anything. And the other guy was just propping him up. Yeah. So something about his dementia and some other statements that were made during the letters and emails that were brought in as a result of
okay, it's in the jury's hands, waiting outside the front of the courtroom. Pretty much they're going to deliberate until regular 4:30 time is the day that we've been leaving every day. The judge said she's going to keep the same hours, so they have until 4:30 to deliberate. If there's no verdict today, back at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and then they have until 4:30 to deliberate tomorrow. So just kind of waiting outside for any notice that or activity that there's going to be a verdict. I do have some more recaps, but honestly, since we have a little bit time, because they just got it in their hands, might have a little bit of an early happy hour cocktail, read through my notes. But yeah, it was really good day of closing arguments, and we'll see what happens.
So after she said that, and they didn't know if they were going to actually get the verdict today or not, she stayed around and She was saying that this guy is hot. I think he's the AG, not Kamala Harris. And the jury was not returning a verdict, is what they thought. And then all of a
Return
sudden,
a verdict today for Tom Girardi, and will he be found guilty on all 4 counts of wire fraud? My prediction. Okay, hopefully this is the last morning video I make in front of this courthouse for at least a little while. Tom Girardi did arrive around 8:30 today. I just got here, so I missed it, but I did get word that he has arrived, so he is here in the courthouse. It's almost 9 o'clock, so the jury is supposed to start at 9 o'clock. They have until 4:30 today to deliberate. So kind of, it's just a wait and see game. Kind of just like I have my laptop with me outside the courtroom because I can't bring it into the courtroom. So just gonna do some work. And, you know, when we see lawyers entering the courtroom, that probably means maybe a verdict's coming. So wait and see game. So we'll wait and see.
so after that, Tom Girardi ended up coming back. So that means a verdict is coming soon, because they make the defendant along with the attorneys return for the reading of the verdict. This is some other stuff she was noticing. She said, shout out to Wendy Williams. The prosecutor is underpaid the position. Da, 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 da. It's coming in a second. Sorry. So she was sitting outside and they were talking to some reporters. Let's see. Keep going here. They just came back in the hallway. It's surreal sitting next to Tom Girardi, waiting for a verdict that will determine his fate. Turkey Day freaks. Okay. Something about Virgos, Tom Girardi, Virgo slanders. I'm not sure what she means by that. It is a criminal trial. Tom is charged with 4 counts of wire fraud. Each count carries a maximum sentence of 20 years. He's 81 years old. The attorneys were on their way back into the courtroom. That means the verdict is coming. Tom just entered the courtroom. That means the verdict is coming. Oh shit, she's going in the courtroom. See us in a bit. The verdict is coming. Tom Girardi found guilty on all 4 counts of wire fraud, facing up to 20 years each count of wire fraud. Oh my goodness. So he tried claiming dementia.
Tom Girardi was just found guilty, all 4 counts of wire fraud. Guilty, 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 guilty. The jury was unanimous. His sentencing date has been scheduled for December 6th, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Now, for each count of wire fraud, he faces a maximum of 20 years in federal prison. For that, there will be a response. I'm sure there will be appeals, but Tom Girardi is guilty. I'm going to get him coming out of the courtroom. This time, he's coming out a convicted felon. All the media is waiting outside, waiting for Tom to come out. Everybody wants to see Tom Girardi, the now convicted Tom Girardi, found guilty on all 4 counts. Let's see him come out. He hasn't come out yet.
Okay, let's see.
But as soon as he does, I'm going to get the first shot of him. Tom Girardi was just found guilty with HIV.
Okay, so then that is fantastical. It's like so surreal. I'm not sure why people with this much to lose or to hide ultimately end up on Bravo specifically. I'm not real sure how that happens, but Tom Girardi is now adding to a long list of Bravo cons. And that's a fitting name for their convention. And if people aren't careful, they all might end up one. Bravo cons at BravoCon. So, hey, I didn't make it happen. I didn't make it so, even though those words all go together. Don't they flow? BravoCon for BravoCons. Okay, maybe he'll be out in time to get to BravoCon 2030 because they are famous for not having to stay their whole time in jail. Especially, I mean, he's older. They might not even make him go. Who knows? So the next thing I wanted to show us a little bit of, and I hope you guys stay with me just for a minute anyway, because I thought it was really interesting. Like, I'm pretty nice, and I just ask regular questions. I didn't even get snarky with this question. And look, I didn't make the statement that you made and post the video that you posted. And you know me over here on Larger Curves. If I get snarky and I see that it was uncalled for and I play it back and I'm like, oh shit, what happened to my home training? Who the heck do I think I am? I don't even know this person like that to be popping it like that. Let me go apologize. And I will call and apologize on the same live airwaves that I was serving it to him on. And I did, case in point, I did that with Jamie Tyler from Love and Marriage DC. I kind of popped off with him, and then we had it out on a live, and I was apologizing because he didn't deserve that from me. You know what I'm saying? You're sharing your whole life. I don't know you. Your name's not on my check. It's just an opinion. There's enough room on right for everybody. I had no right to tell him that. What I told him some crazy stuff. I said something crazy. Oh, that he was nothing without Monique Samuels and she was the glue or something like that. I was crazy. Anyway, um, yeah, I go there sometimes. I get a little woo woo. So anyway, but I haven't been for a while, and I've really been working on not coming off like that specifically. So when this series came out recently called Martha's Vineyard on Bravo, I really dug it. And it was all black ensemble cast. And it was these, you know, late 20 something, early 30 something kind of crowd, pledged the Divine Nine. A lot of them were, in sororities or fraternities at historically black colleges. And they spent their time in Martha's Vineyard and during the summer at different locations, and it was all about how they interacted. And I love this show. So on the show is a character, well, a man. He's not a character on the show. It's reality, so he's who he is. And his name is Preston Mitchum, and he is um, on that show. And he made a video today where I was just listening to it. And after I listened to it, I made a comment and went on about my business. And the comment didn't tear him down. The comment was just basically like, okay, you said that, but it was more like, why are you saying that? More than anything. It wasn't like you're wrong for it. It was, okay, I hear you. And why are you saying it? Because this is what's happening. And then he came back at me. I wasn't even expecting nothing back, and I wasn't being a box troll completely, at least in my opinion. You guys can tell me or not. So, but I mean, people are sensitive, but I didn't try to make him wrong for what he was feeling or me right. I was just like challenging the why of it all, which I feel like is healthy to do, because I'm Robert's daughter. So let's see if we can hear what he's saying first.
To black folks living in poverty, to working class black folks, to middle class black folks, right? There's not a particular category of black folks this is happening to. There's almost this really weird thing happening where people assume that if you're voting for Harris, you suddenly don't care about all these other issues, right? Like you're not thinking about this clearly and you're not pushing hard enough, which is fascinating to me. It's fascinating and a little insulting, both to my intelligence and to yours, to assume that me voting for someone means I'm settling against all these other issues. I must also admit that as an organizer and someone who's been an activist for a number of years, who have been pushed against the police, pepper sprayed, etc., you name it. If you are in DC, many of you have worked with me for a long while, and have certainly in 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, around these issue areas. And, I deeply feel compassionate about the issue of Palestine and free Palestine. And it's broken my heart the way I also hear us discussing the uncommitted movement, who really just want to see people do and be better. I just need us to all recognize that there are really many issues why Palestinian folks are not going to vote for anyone in this campaign, in this election, right? Many of them are seeing genocide happen, and that is their approach. I can't be mad at that approach personally. If I saw genocide happening to my families in 2024, I can't tell you how I would vote personally, right? I'm just not sure if how that engagement would look like for me. As someone who's voted in every election, local, state, and federal, I probably still would, right? I think that's just the best way to move forward and to engage people, community, policymakers, what have you. Where I draw the line, however, is making it seem like we are the problem for also caring about our families and our communities as well. We are not the problem. We need to talk about white supremacy and white supremacists. We need to talk about those who are clearly keeping money in politics. We need to blame those who are restricting our right to vote, restricting reproductive or expanding reproductive oppression, who are pushing against education inequity or equity, who are pushing against or for many times police violence. Those are the people we need to be pushing against, not us. Still, I desperately hope we can figure this out before November 5th, because the reality is we may be mad at each other now. We may be, frustrated against each other, but the one thing that's going to be true and clear is that we're going to need each other. We're going to need each other. So I don't know if this is my call for solidarity, my call for us to be patient with one another, to show more grace to one another, or it's really just my plea to stop blaming the very communities who are also oppressed. We have to stop that. There are many reasons why people are voting for Harris. There are many reasons why people are deciding to not. I just hope everyone, regardless of what we do, is happy with their decision. I hope people become happy with their decision. I know I'm voting for Harris, and I'm going to ultimately be happy with my decision 100% for that, because I know the reasons why I'm doing it. And I really pray everyone can say the same. That's really hope, because my God.
Okay,
so Black folks, this is happening too.
I'm going to get the first shot of him. Tom Giradi was just found guilty
with HIV.
So that was the video I saw Preston say. And it was very insightful, and I was listening attentively. And part of why I was listening is because I know that Candace Diller Bassett and him and Karen Huger just had like a Housewives for Politics event hosting panel. And I was thinking, oh, that's cute, and it wasn't for like any other real reason. But then I had, just because what I heard him say was he was voting for Kamala because of to protect his family and in his family's interests. And you guys may or may not know, but I'm from the Bay Area and born and raised Oakland, and was here in 2004 when Kamala Harris was on the scene and stuff, and know all too well different types of just local fare about what really happened, what Google doesn't direct you to automatically. There are actual lived experiences of people still in the community, and it's not all joy, put it that way. And so to see this turnabout now where all of a sudden it's joy and, oh, I love everybody, it's just contradictory to things, along with the fact that I've said it here on LRGA Curves before. I'm begging everybody, go to KamalaHarris.com right now. Let's all go together. Pull out another device, an alternate device, or if you can, while you're on here, just go to your Google search, go to KamalaHarris.com. I'm doing it right now, Kamala Harris. And then go to Kamala for President. There should be Kamala Harris for President. It doesn't even have a www. But if you go there, the first thing they do is ask for money. Then you go to the menu, And do you know that she left the DNC without ever having put a platform on her website for president? And I just thought that was so strange, because if you go to anybody else who's running for president, on their website, they have a platform, and a platform are the things that they'll use to enact policies once they become president. And I kind of feel I'm real keen on putting it in writing. Even for my own life, I enjoy writing the vision to make it plain. You know, there's a power in making that commitment to yourself on paper and to your goals on paper, I feel that is beneficial in the long run. And even if something evolves or morphs, the mere fact that you cared enough to write it down can really help manifest things and commit you to a cause in a positive, proactive type of way. Like, I'm like, you know how I am. I'm like, this is literally coming from a, ooh, can we all go somewhere awesome type of place, right? So you guys just heard what Preston said, and he was talking from his purview, which is great. And I listened to the whole thing, and I listened twice before I typed. But Kamala doesn't want to talk about white supremacy or white supremacists, because he was just talking about these things like on her behalf. And so I was like, but she doesn't want to talk about what you're talking about, is how I'm saying it, right? So Kamala doesn't want to talk about white supremacy or white supremacists or the white supremacists or reparations for Black people or doing anything for Black people. So, how is voting for Kamala Harris voting for Black families? Asking for a friend. Is the mere fact of her Jamaican father enough to do something for Black people? What is she going to do for anybody? She doesn't even have a policy written down on her website for the past 40 days. I tell you guys, I've been checking every day. I'm not coming up here gaslighting you, blowing smoke up your ass, trying to start anything. I'm simply encouraging to engage with people who want a policy. So she doesn't even have a policy written down on her website for the past 40 days. And I got my 40 from the fact that Joe Biden, stepped down when they had 107 days left before the general election on November 5th. And now we're down to like 30 days about. So I just was like, yeah. So she hasn't had anything up there, you guys, since he bowed out. Not anything. The only thing on her website is asking for money, selling merchandise, and her Wikipedia bio. Oh my God, thanks, Bianca. Thank you so much. Um, and her Wikipedia bio, along with Tim Walt's Wikipedia bio. And right on. I really appreciate that. I love that. Let's put a heart there. And a like there. Can I like these things? It won't let me. I love it. So I was saying, okay, and just like people say, if you vote for 45, you support those ideals. I call Trump 45 because he was the 45th president. So, and people say, oh, if you vote for Trump, then you support the ideals of Trump. They want to call you like a racist or a bigot, or say that you believe all the people should be locked up or deported, or, you know what I mean? Because you subscribe and believe in something about him, and that's going to come along with it. So you must support that too, right? That's what they would say if you were saying anything about liking 45. And I don't subscribe to him. I don't support him in any way. I was just looking at the obvious contradiction to what's happening. So if you support 45, then you support those ideals, because it's the same as if you vote for Kamala, right? Then you're voting for genocide. You're voting for the allegiance to Israel and her promise to not do anything specifically for Black people. She won't even mention reparations. This is crazy. You're right. Now, see, I didn't get snarky. or anything. Can I make this any bigger? See, there I am. That's my Instagram, LRGA Curves with 2 S's, same picture. And that was my simple statement. I didn't say anything snarky. I didn't attack him or anything. And he ended up coming back at me, you guys. I was like, now look, I didn't come at him. I didn't attack him. I was just like, what are her policies that are good for Black people specifically? Since you're telling these people that that's why you're voting for her, what is she? What? Can you please help me understand what you're talking about? Because I don't really think the people know what they're talking about.
To Black folks living in poverty, to working class Black folks, to middle class Black folks, right? There's not a particular category of Black folks.
So from there, he tells me, from the looks of it, you're supporting someone who comes around every 4 years. So good luck with that opportunism. You guys. I was like, huh? Preston, you have time, huh? So from the looks of it, you're supporting someone, and I haven't said exactly who I'm supporting. I'm just throwing all the options. I'm throwing all the pasta at the ceiling and seeing what sticks at this point. If the pasta has a platform and some policies that I might think will ultimately do good for the country, for my family, then yeah. But if your pasta doesn't even have a platform, why am I even bothering my arm strength throwing you on a ceiling? You obviously are not sticking anywhere, right? So who's really the opportunist is my point. I mean, like the delulu and the gaslighting is crazy. I literally was like, the woman has no policy. And he says, from the looks of it, you're supporting someone, I didn't say who I was supporting, who comes around every 4 years. So good luck with that. I didn't really know what he was talking about. So the reason this says 4 hours ago, and then it says 4 minutes and 3 minutes, is because I was like, I'm about to get blocked. I could feel it coming already. I could feel it coming, y'all. So I was like, from the looks of it, so do you. Because what is Kamala Harris except for an opportunist who comes around every 4 years to tell you what she's going to do. And then when she's sitting in the vice president's chair, she don't do nothing except for let it get so bad that once she gets president, she's going to fix everything that nothing happened to while she was vice president. I just don't get it. And there's nothing written. I'm just like, really? Really, Preston? And I liked him on the show. I mean, I didn't like how who did he go against? He went against Jordan, right? Or did he go against Jasmine? Did he go against Jasmine and Jordan was the cocky one? Yeah, I think Jordan was the one who's single, right? And Jasmine just had the baby with Silas. And Preston was Silas's best man, but then he turned on Jasmine this season 2 of Martha's Vineyard. So I was kind of like, I already see you, bruh. But that was even still for the show. I was like, well, maybe there's something personal going on over there. But old boy had time. So I tell him, from the looks of it, so do you. And then he says, I've worked in state and federal policy for 15 years. So yeah. Now, I don't know how it went to all these different places. I was like, the woman doesn't have a policy. What policy does she have? He says, womp, 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 womp. And I said, oh, really? And then he says, womp, 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 some more. So then I was like, okay, 2 responses on his thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get blocked. Even though Jamie Tyler didn't block me, he just dealt with me. He didn't block me, though. He never blocked me. He just stopped arguing with me. Because I can go on and on and on.
There's almost this really weird thing happening.
So he decides to tell me how much he's worked in policy and how he's done it for 15 years. Now, maybe he started when he was 15. I'm not sure exactly how old Preston Mitchum is. I mean, I'm not into it like that, but he's worked in federal and state policy for 15 years. Sounds like somebody could be padding their resume. I'm not sure, but black doesn't crack. So maybe he was. But I'm like, hey, look, I'm not looking for your resume, bro. I was literally just asking where your girls' policies are, right? So you've been working in state policy for 15 years. We both are into people who are into opportunism every 4 years. So then I busted though I busted him good, you guys. I was like, Preston, yet nothing has changed much for African Americans regarding the work put in by us for us. The duopoly isn't the answer. And then I got blocked. So that's why everything goes from 4 hours to like within minutes, he blocked me. He answered me and he was like, ooh, I'm gonna answer her one more time and then block her. And then I'd say something else. And then he's like, ooh, I'm gonna block her right now. And then I'd say something else. So I got the last word in and then he blocked me because we're gonna finish looking at this. Watch.
Happening where people assume.
And I was sitting here and I told my son, I said, son, I said, this Bravo celebrity is going back and forth with me. I said, I think he's about to block me. Let me record this because nobody's going to believe that we went back and forth over this statement. Like I didn't even go in. I was like, I was being so like vague and nice and not personal and kept it all about what you just was talking about, what she's going to do for you. And all I did was say, what's she going to do for you? And he went off on me and blocked me, you guys. And I was like, let me record this. While I'm recording it,
that if you're voting for Harris, you certainly don't care about all these other.
While I'm recording it,
if you're in DC, many of you have worked with me for a long while, and have certainly is making it seem violence. Those are the people we need to be pushing against, not us. Still, I desperately hope we can figure this out.
Okay.
For 5th, because the reality is we may be.
And then I thought it was so ironic that he's literally making a video about people attacking us. And then he's totally attacking me and then blocking me because I asked him one simple question. I was like, really, dude? It was just so interesting. I'm like, whoa. But that seems to be the status quo right now. Whenever I'm asking anybody about like platforms or policies for their candidates, you know, they either take it personally or they want to act like you're something because you just asked them a logical freaking question. Logical, okay? So while I was recording this, because, you know, once you get blocked, you can't see what they were posting. So I was also letting this just play out.
That's really hope.
And look, while I was playing it, look, I went back to see if he's made any other comment to me while I was recording it, while I was getting this caught on film, because I would not have been able to get it. Everything gets disappeared once you get blocked. So I went back to see one more time. Did he say anything else to me? And all the comments disappear. You guys watch.
And I really pray everyone can say the same. That's really hope.
Ha ha! Blocked. So, look, no comments yet. I was just in the comments.
I wanted to even write a video on this or make a video.
Look, they all disappeared from my thread, from all of my things. Everything disappeared because he totally blocked me and everything disappeared, you guys. Talk about freaking sensitive. Then I type in his name and watch. He would still exist, but not for me. You guys, he straight blocked me. Me too, Bianca. I love him. And I was like, really, Preston? I didn't even press him. I didn't even press Preston. So now here I'm proving to you what I'm talking about. You go to her website. You press the 3 menu bars after she's asking you for some fucking money. That's all they're doing. It's a fucking money grab for them. They're not even willing to put nothing in writing. They got piles arguing with other Black people because they want her to explain herself. Yes, if you want to be president of the free fucking world, I'm going to need you to explain yourself. I'm going to need you to come up with a platform that we're going to turn into some policies that the American people can look over. It's called a chicken in every pot. Are you motherfuckers crazy? Like, they're supposed to be making promises to us and supposed to be putting them on paper so we can hold their feet to the fire and hold them accountable and make them own it when they don't do the shit on the list that they told us they was going to do. Has anybody else noticed that the stuff, anything that Kamala Harris said that she was even going to do when she was running for president in 2020, all of that stuff she backpedaled on, you guys. Every single thing that she said she was running on in 2020, she has changed her position on. And this time she didn't even bother to write it down. She didn't even bother to write it down. You guys are okay with this, but you're mad at me. Preston Mitchum, you're blocking me after you've been in the federal and state and local for 15 years doing your thing. So you've been working there for 15 years, Preston, and nobody had to have a platform that you was working with. I don't understand. But we're going to let this keep playing because you know what? To prove my freaking theory, this was just the litmus test. When you're running for president, I was like, okay, we know Kamala's running for president. Who else is running for president? Oh, Jill Stein. She's running for president. You go to her thing. She's running for president. Look, it says it right there, platform, but we'll go all the way into the freaking website for her. And you'll see that once you click into the website, you'll be able to go see what you say? What you say? Are you tripping, LRGA Curves? She has a what? A platform button. What you say? Oh my God. And Preston was pressed about you asking him about Kamala's policies? Really? What you say? So there are people that went for president and put it in writing? Really? But you're mad at me? I got blocked because I happen to notice that she doesn't have anything written on there since the man bowed out, 107 days left to vote. Really? They had a closed nomination process for the DNC, which happens to care for do not care. It happens to stand for do not care because they do not care to even give us a platform to run off of because they're not worried about us. The only thing that they've said in speeches has been pledging allegiance to any place that doesn't start with the A, have 3 Ks in it, and end with the A. Okay? They're not worried about us. So I was simply asking Preston Mitchum from Martha's Vineyard, what's her platform for you and your Black ass? For you and your Black family? What's your platform, bro? And he blocked me. Oh my gosh, this is still Jill Stein's platform. It's still just scrolling. They want to codify Roe v. Wade on that one. Oh my goodness, what you say? And Kamala's a woman. She's not willing to put into writing that she wants to codify Roe v. Wade for anybody. She'll say things like women's reproductive rights, but she doesn't give us any specifics about it. You guys, is that okay with really? That's acceptable? Because Plies told us we better stop asking her to explain herself. No, she's going to have the keys to way too many things. And after Obama didn't do nothing for me last time, I'm going to need somebody to explain themselves, okay? Okay? Especially when they look like me and are supposed to understand the struggle that I come from. I'm going to need you to explain yourself and say what specifically you're going to do for the part of you that is resonating with me because you told me that you're this and now I need to support you because you're this, but you're not going to support me because I'm this? You guys. Really? I'm telling you, go check it right now today. I just checked again today. She already got the nomination from the DNC and still is not putting nothing in writing for you. Cornell Rust, brilliant man, running for president. You go to his thing, look, it says platform again right there. Because he's running for, and he's just a mere independent. And he took his time out of his freaking life, out of his mind, out of his what he wants to be held accountable to put a platform on his website. It's not a money grab and selling you t-shirts talking about coach. No, it's a freaking It has platforms and things that he's planning on doing to move this country in a different direction than the duopoly's ass. Yes, I'm human. Okay. Now it only makes me check that box sometimes. I was like, where am I? Okay. So he has policy pillars for movement. Okay. Everybody else in the whole freaking race takes time out of their life to put their thoughts on paper. And I would think that somebody like Kamala Harris, who's literally been sitting in the assistant office for this position for the last 3.5 years, and ran for this position, right? So she's like inside the fishbowl and knows firsthand what the problems are. And she wasn't sitting at her desk with her doodle pad out, filled to the brim about ideas on how to change this country and make it more magnificent. She didn't have not one freaking moment where she was like, oh, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and all the kids are going to get ice cream on Thursdays, and then we're going to do this, and there won't be any this, and then we'll do this for that. Really? Nothing? She didn't have nothing written down to have her whole platform. Her should have the most platform ideas after being in this in the pickle that we're in for the last 3.5 years. And what happened to logic? How are you sitting in the office, next to the office, where all of this shit got fucked up? The prices are too high, the rent's too high, all the stuff you said at the DNC and that fabulous speech everybody said was so fabulous. I was like, all it did was sound like she was sitting in the room for the problems, and now she's going to come back and try to sell us the paper towels to clean them up. But you were sitting in the room while the stuff was spilling, and you're keeping your paper towels clean, but now you want us, the people, to donate and buy your merchandise? I don't get it. I don't get it. So you guys, that was my thing. I wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you had a great night. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, leave it in the comments. I mean, what do you think? Was I too harsh on Preston? Can I get a 1 in the chat if I was harsh on Preston? If you guys think that I should have not said anything to Preston or that I was somehow rude, put a 1 in the chat. If you guys think that my question was completely logical and not harmful in any way, it was a logical question. I didn't attack him personally. I didn't say anything about his politics. I was like, what is her policy? That's how I took what I said. If you guys think it was horrible, I get a 1. If you guys think I need to learn, I said what was true, I get a 5, because I was just like, whoa, that's ridiculous. You don't like us enough to put it on paper. Think about it. If you were dating a guy and he didn't put a ring on it, think about it. A platform is kind of like a ring on it, you guys. If you like it, then you got to put a ring on it. If you like it, then you got to whoop, 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 do, 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 do. All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. It's like we're single without that platform. Think about it. We're single without that platform. You put a platform, that's you put it in writing, you put it in a ring on it. That's a commitment. That's a promissory note. That's like if you write down a chicken in every pot and all we get is down feathered pillows, we get to talk to you because this doesn't say down feather pillows, sir. This says a chicken in every pot, sir. But if you never wrote anything, when you backpedal and pussy pop off and moonwalk away from what you just were standing for last week, you can't simultaneously be doing everything you can to end the thing over there and sending a $20 billion on the same day. It's not logical, but you can do that if you never put it in writing. Because you can say we heard it wrong. You can say, oh, you didn't mean it like that. You can say we misinterpreted it. Or you can be like, oh, there was more context to it because it wasn't in writing. You did not write the vision and make it plain for all a man to see. Chris Maxwell is in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for coming through, Chris Maxwell. Nice to see you in here. And Sheila Joe, thanks for coming through. I appreciate your POV coming through. Yeah, it's like crazy. Who is the candidate? So that was Cornel West. The other one was Jill Stein. They are third parties. You know, I came up with this. Just think about it like this. You've been voting Democrat and Republican for all this time. Is anything better for anybody? I don't know. But just think about a third party. Just entertain it. Massage it just a little bit. Just massage it a little bit. I mean, things are about to be what they're about to be. But if you're voting your conscience and you're voting like based off of platforms that are written down and promises that people are willing to have their feet held to the fire over, then I feel like that's a far more committed person for the role of president of the United States, is somebody who's willing to at least write it down. Show me on paper what you're going to do for me. Because all this word salad and laughing and the illusion of joy, but you haven't said shit for me to be joyful for, because I can't follow you back and make any sense of it because I don't have anything to compare it against, because you won't write it down. I don't understand. Oh, your cousin. I'm so sorry, Chris. Bless your heart. Bless your cousin's heart. Praying for peace and positivity at this time during your loss of transition. Sorry. Ice, baby. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, no way. Ugh, transition is so freaking hard. You know, hopefully you will, sick of the negative, right? Yeah, just got to be happy. I mean, it's all about like we're here to experience connections and love and create. And the safer the environment to do that for all of us, I feel the better. And one way to see it is with what are the plans? What are the goals? You know, a platform is like a business plan for your administration. Does a loan happen at a bank without a business plan for your business? Hello? No, it doesn't. So should we loan them our vote and our next 4 years of our life without a business plan in writing that makes sense? I don't think so. This is logic. This is mere logic. I'm a capricious Capricorn for a reason. This is logical to me. Fact over feelings right now. For real, for real. Anyway, Curvies, I love you. Thanks for coming out and playing. And thanks for being you. Remember, even at night, there's enough to go around, so go get some. Even if it's just rest, get some peace, Max, Chris Maxwell, and Bianca, get some rest. Thanks for being here for me all day. I love you, girl. Thank you so much. Does Trump have one? Yes. Unfortunately, Trump does have his whole thing. He named his fancy. It's called Agenda 47. And he has a video pop up for each one. And it's 3 pages long. I would show it to you, but I don't support him at all. So I don't even want to give him a click again. I did go check it out, though. And he's had it up from the beginning. He's had it up. You can go look at it. There are some similarities between what he says in his Agenda 47 and Project 2025. There are some similarities as far as like language, but not spot on exactly, but it's the same structures. But yeah, his is fancy. It's magnificent. It's huge. It's great. I'm telling you, no, it's really shiny. It's really shiny and put together. And you can either read it or he has a video for it. Yes. Very thoughtful. Very thoughtful. Now, I mean, I did say write the vision, make it plain so people can hold your feet to the fire and stuff. I mean, a lot of the stuff on there, I don't know if he would really do. I'm not sure, but he probably would. He loved signing stuff while he was in there last time. But he does have one, you guys. And that's the other scary part. She's going up against somebody with shit written down. He might be crazy as batshit. He might not be for everybody. He might seem very conflated, okay? But he has that shit written down with videos, with it's interactive, it's pretty, it's clean. You saw her website. That shit looks janky as hell. It doesn't even have a www in front of it, you guys. You put in KamalaHarris.com right now, it comes up https://KamalaHarris.com. It doesn't even have a fucking www. Anyway, that's just cheap. What is she spending $150 million on if your website looks like you got it done at GoDaddy.com? No shade to GoDaddy. I love GoDaddies. But you know what I'm saying? Really? And you're asking for money on there? Really? Anyway, you guys, let me get off of here. You know, I can go on and on and on. I love you guys. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Good night.